Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the DJ Sessions Presents the Virtual Sessions. I'm your host Darren, and right now I'm sitting in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, and with me none other coming in from Belgium, I have the one, the only Kenn Colt. Ken, how's it going today?
Very good, Darren. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know you're a busy guy. You're on tour right now. You just finished up, and I checked out some of the PR photos and video from Tomorrowland. Tell us all about that. What kind of experience was that, man?
Well, I think like Tomorrowland is one of the festivals that every year that you do like one of those shows that you think like, wow, this is the best show of your life. Well, next year you can do it again, and you think like, hey, this is again the best show of your life. And I'm very blessed that I can do it already for 9 years. But Tomorrowland was amazing, and it's like the decoration is like Disneyland for adults. It's like electronic dance music fans. Um, they go really wild, and they're very excited from minute one, and they just enter the place, and it's like it's wild.
I was looking at some of those shots, and after being to EDC here a few years back in Vegas, which I was
Mhm.
just blown away with the production there, and I've seen production photos from Tomorrowland. I could only hey, good beer there on a nice, beautiful day out there.
Thank you, thank you.
You're in Belgium right now, correct?
Yes, I'm in Belgium right now. I need to play this Saturday in Club Versus in Hasselt. And yeah, of course, I'm staying here, and then afterwards I'll go to China. So I'm enjoying the beer because I'm Belgium, of course, and then yeah.
Awesome. I'm actually experiencing, like I was saying, I went to EDC in Vegas. I'd love to make it
Mhm.
out to Tomorrowland. My next venture in a couple weeks here, I'm going out to Rave the Planet in Berlin. We're going to be on one of the floats there with Riverside Studios and be broadcasting live from a float with about 250 to 350,000 people. I'm super excited
Nice.
for that, to see that production. But Tomorrowland had some production that I saw on the stage you were on that I was really amazed to see happen. I'd love to see this more. Hopefully they'll do it at more festivals, but they had like triple layers. They had the ground floor, then they had the floor, which I saw that at EDC. They had a VIP booths, upper floor bars.
Yes,
Just had a
makes
floor on
sense.
top of that and a floor on top of that. And I was like, whoa,
Like
that's some
it's
sickness.
true. It's like they build kind of rings. It's like the biggest indoor stage. It's a freedom stage, and that freedom stage I play like now 6 years, I think. And this stage is just amazing. I think a couple years ago I did the hollow stage with it's like the hollow construction about Eric Pritz. That was really insane. And on this year it was like from Budweiser, but they had like the production is really sick. It's really unseen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you said you've played Tomorrowland for the past 9 years. You've played
Yes.
many different festivals. Which one of those would be your favorite one, or the most? I guess would I say favorite? Because probably all of them are your favorite. But what would be the most memorable one that you've played?
Well, I play for Pacha Ibiza World Tour as well, and that was in Cape Town, and I also play like in Jordan. It was amazing as well. I mean, like, if I really need to, so I really like to play at big festivals, but also on small festivals because like a small club, small like intimate places because you can connect with your fans like very closely, and that's something like that's very unique. Yeah, that's something about Tomorrowland. Of course, you're on stage and it's so you're at this kind of level as in like height of the stage, you cannot see really who's in front of you. It's like you see just a mass of people and you just want to entertain them. And while if you're in this kind of club which is very cozy, it's like a boiler room effect, like everyone is around you, you have more interaction, it's more like an intimate thing. So for me, I think for depending on the energy and stuff like that, Asia, like Ultra Music Festival Asia, and for 100% Tomorrowland for sure is the best festival in the world. So yeah, without doubt.
I always love it when guests basically. I don't know if it's telekinesis. Well, it wouldn't be telekinesis or mental something, but they actually answer the question that I'm about to ask next on the show. It's like, and I don't feed
Sorry.
questions beforehand, so this isn't pre-scripted or pre-known. You're just answering right away because the next question I was just about to ask you is, does a bigger crowd satisfy you more, or is there some magical element that satisfies you when it comes to playing music for a crowd of people? And I think you kind of sum that up. That yes, there is this magical performance being with thousands of people screaming your songs at the top of their lungs and getting into it, but you also love that intimate vibe experience, like the boiler room. You're right there to
Yes.
touch the hands of the people,
Yes.
that you're seeing. And a lot of
Yes.
artists, I know some artists that will only play intimate venues. They won't go over
Yeah.
500, because they want
Yeah.
that connection with the crowd.
Connection. Yeah.
Um, Dr. Fresh, who went on tour earlier this year, kind of did some of his venues. I don't know if all of them were set up this way, but they were kind of in the round in the middle of the dance floor. So instead of him being up on a
Because like
stage away from everyone, he
yes.
was there and everyone was around him, and he's able to,
Yes.
do that
Touch
kind of.
kind of touch him, like it's like very closed. It's a
Yeah.
very intimate intimacy setup. Like I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have a
Yeah.
club here in Seattle called the Sea Sound Lounge, and that was one of the most coolest vibes. If you had artists from around the world come in, and the club only held, I think capacity was 200, but they would put a lot more than 200 people in there. But you were no more than 10 feet away from the artist at any given time, and the sound was
Nice.
just perfect. The vibe and everything was just awesome. So totally commend you on juggling both of those, because some people just do big performances. Some people will shy away from the littler performances, but you do both. That's pretty awesome. Now go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, so I want to say like I know that why some people are like going down back towards like the intimacy stages, because at certain point you're at a stage, and if you don't see the guys in front of you, you kind of like feel like you're lost. You don't have the connection, So at a certain point, you just want to feel more connection with your fans, and I feel like some artists want to go like exclusive, and they want to just reach more like fans. So I understand that they will go back to like being more like like a fan connected artist, while others like big shows and like big venues, big energy. Is like when you exit the stage, I'm not kidding, you're just like tumbling. It's like because everything happens so fast and it's so intense. It's like, yeah, you're on a roller coaster, like a roller coaster. You finish and it's like, oh my god, this was the biggest ride of my life. I mean, like this is the kind of vibe. Yeah.
Totally. Now, if you could host an event of your own without any limitations, you got the Black
Yes.
American Express card, unlimited bank account, it's all going to be paid off at the end of the month, so you don't have to worry about it.
It
What
is your
five?
it's your bank account.
It's my bank. It's my. Yeah, I'll bankroll the
Okay.
show.
Okay.
You're right. My bank account. Name 5 things you would want to have at that event, and why each one. Why would you want that?
Well, I would love to have the DJ set in the middle of the stage, 100%. So if there's a room, I want to have the DJ set in the middle of the stage. Why? The reason is because you have this intimacy. Is in You have so much love from your fans, even though if on a big main stage they can definitely sing your song, but close to you can even feel them. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you can feel their energy, that you feel their intention just to singing your songs. While on a big festival, you don't really hear. It's like or yeah. Which other 5 things? I would definitely say the smoker. The smoker is very nice. I love. Um, yeah, the CO2 shots, some stuff like that. Yeah, confetti is like something thing that I love the most. I love a lot. Everyone get their glasses ruined, but it's like fun at the end. um what else? Oh, entertainment, like dancers, like people that just trying to engage with people, just trying to get them, around the DJ booth, or just like not being like at the entrance because they're scared to go and close to the DJ.
What about location? Do you have a dream location you would love to play
mm. Madison Square, maybe that would be
at?
like
Nice.
yeah, that yeah, actually, I love main stage, but I would definitely think about it differently. Like I see the main stage is like super busy, but the DJ is like at the back. There's a big scenery, but I would say like keep the scenery and just keep like the stage, but keep the DJ booth like in the middle of the that would be create another vibe. It would be another. another center. People would be like looking at the stage, but also looking at the DJ. It's like, yeah, yeah, something that
Absolutely.
I would.
Was that a bell that I heard ding in the background?
Yes, it's the clock. It's the
It's the
clock.
half hour mark, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's beer 30.
Okay, okay. Say no more.
What are you drinking there? What do you got there?
It's Carmelite. It's like a strong Belgian beer, actually.
It looks like from here that it's a strong Belgian, probably a triple ale, one of my favorite
It's
types.
triple. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it
yes.
looks like a triple.
100%.
Definitely awesome. Well, I'm
Yes.
going to experience some beers when I get over there to Germany. I'm super excited for that. One of my favorite top Heffenweisens is the Westfaner Heff.
Mm,
It's actually the
nice.
original, from what I understand, it's the original Heffenweisen recipe that created all Heffenweisens, back by the monks, like in the way long ago, way long ago. I'm a huge Heffenweisen fan, but I love a triple as well. Got to be careful with those things, though.
If you kind of used to this kind of like beer, of course, if you drink Heineken is like 5%, and would be like 8%. It's like, okay, if you kind of used to drink these beers, it's a different approach. But of course, you need to be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, slowly drink those. I mean, I've had like two or three of those, and I'm like, whoo. But but I'll prime myself before I get to Germany. Where is one of the weirdest? Well, let me jump in. We're still talking about some touring questions. We'll get into tracks and all that fun stuff because we got a ton of stuff to talk about. But you're in Belgium right now. You're going to China after weeks or months of heavy touring. What do you like to do in your home country to chill out and enjoy life? Drink beer is probably one of them.
Well, to be honest, when I come back home, I live in Valencia in Spain.
Okay.
But when I come home, what I do like is like go for a run or go like just be with be alone on myself. I'm a very introverted person, and I love to be on myself. And that's the moment that I really feel like, okay, now um, I can connect with myself, but also I can connect again with my music because, of course, traveling around give me a lot of inspiration. That's how I get to my music because if you check my Spotify page, you know that I like the kind of life that I had because in the beginning it was more commercial, now it's more like Latin house, and it flows in the direction where I probably be at that moment. And I think that's something that a story from that's my story that I tell. If I play a DJ set, I want to tell my story, just want to explain what I feel. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, sometimes producers, you don't get a lot of time when you're on the road because it's always go, 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 go. And then you come back home and it's like, okay, now like you said, I'm introvert. I'm in the studio. A lot of people, it's funny. I'm a television show host. Okay, I just dated myself back in the day, but I started in broadcast television, got into podcasting, video streaming, did live streaming, and personally myself, like what you just said. um I'm out there. I'm a personality. I'm on the air. I'm doing live stuff. I'm out in the go. I'm out and about of the people, trying to do what we're doing in the entertainment world.
Yes.
But when I comes back home, I'll put on an anime and binge watch that for days, and I'll just be like, what's
No,
up?
no, yeah,
And I'm inside. I like to cook. I like, I'm at home. I work from home, but I kind of understand and can definitely understand that I'm back in the studio zone. I'm back in the work zone type of introverted
true,
mentality. But, a lot of people are like,
true.
nope, you're an outgoing person. You're a Leo. And I'm like, well, I'm on the cusp. I'm a Leo Virgo, but I'm really more of a Virgo, you know, but
Well,
my,
I do think the cooking thing is just me. Like if I go for a run, then I can just clear my head. And when I'm cooking, I have the same thing. Like I love to cook when I have time, of course. And then I can just clear my head, and that's something that I do love a lot. And yeah, I do understand. Like if you travel a lot, it's sometimes good to just come back to yourself and just disconnect.
favorite meal to prepare. What is that? Now that we're talking about cooking, because I'm a huge foodie.
Well, asparagus, como yeah, with salmon.
All
That's
right. I
that's
like
something
it.
that I really love a lot, a lot. And well, what else? Pasta. I love pasta. I love Asian food, man. I love Asian food. It's like you have no idea. I love spicy food, obviously.
Okay.
So any type of food that I like, I do love a lot.
You just got me wanting to now. I have a piece of salmon in the fridge. I have some asparagus. I'm thinking about
You're hungry, right? You're hungry.
yeah. Well, I haven't ate breakfast today yet. I get like
Ah,
4 hours to 5 hours sleep a night, and I usually eat breakfast. I haven't had lunch today. My lunch is going to consist of making some tacos. I'll make them a little spicy for you, Ken. And going to make some
perfect,
like
perfect,
street tacos for
perfect.
lunch. But no, I think I might pull out that piece of salmon, go down and get some asparagus, and do a nice béarnaise or hollandaise sauce over top of it, and then
Yes, and put some lemon on the bottom, and then just put the salmon on top and make like a nice sauce of the salmon. It
there
was
you
like
go.
you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
I can send some recipes.
yes, I would love that. Definitely would love that. What has been your strongest motivation to pursue a career in music? Did you just wake up one day and like, I want to do this, or did you start with? Did you come
Well,
from a musical background, musical family?
no, my family is totally not musically not musical at all. It's like they never had any connection with music. Music for me is like it has been my passion since I was very young, but also be my therapy. And as in, music always solved things that I actually felt like, oh, I need to go through a phase in my life. Of course, you had a lot of phases in your life, but at a certain point, you just want to go through a phase and you don't know how to process it. Like some people go to the therapist, some people. So I, I, I just love to listen to music. In the beginning, I was listening to music. Now I make music, and that's something that helps me to just, how can I say, like process the problems that I face and that I want to like solve. That's
Mhm.
something like very powerful. Yeah.
What happens if you what happens when you hit sort of in writing, people for writers they call it writer's block. When you hit a
Correct.
music block or a block, or when you just get fed up with doing all this, what do you do to disassociate and get yourself recentered again? Are there any tried and true methods that Ken does? Like, I go and meditate, I go for a run, I don't touch my computer for a week and whatever. Are there
Well,
any tips and
well,
tricks or back ends of what helps you recenter yourself?
whatever your flavor is, I for me it's running or any place where you can just don't think about your phone, don't think about your daily life, don't think about the struggles you have in life, but just think about at doing this run. For me, the run is running is like putting your head on zero and then just go run, 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 and then you you don't really face all those problems that you face when you just go into the studio and like, hey, I need to make this song, because of course everyone expected like a new song from me, but you just disconnect and just like, hey, give me my time, and I just go for a run or meditate. Meditation is also very good, but everyone has his own flavor. So some people like to meditate, some people like to, I don't know, go to the beach, or they just can just like disconnect from everything. And I think disconnecting from real life will actually help you facing or like solving your writing block. Yeah.
It's really awesome. I love the fact that you brought in the whole disconnection, or putting down the phone, because something I saw a long time ago. I don't know if it was a TED talk or not, but this gentleman was being interviewed on stage, and he talked about being so tethered to our mobile devices or our computers and getting that dopamine kick that you really
True.
just have to
True.
disconnect from it from time to time. And he says, instead of using don't keep your phone next to you by your bed, keep it in another room.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard
That's
because you have your alarm. Yeah, and you don't want to wake up
and
at
people
some
say, well, I
point.
use my phone for an alarm. That was one of the things he said. People say, well, I use my phone for my alarm and it wakes me up in the morning. He goes, write to me. I will buy you an alarm clock. Leave your phone in the other room and use an alarm clock. Don't use your phone, because you're going to be tempted. You're going to pick that up. You're going to hit the blue light. The blue light's going to activate you. You aren't going to sleep well. You're going to be getting notifications all day long. That light's going to pop up when you get a notification on it, unless you put it on Do Not Disturb. My phone goes on Do Not Disturb at 11 o'clock at night, doesn't turn back on until
Exactly.
7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And my
Same,
pattern is
same.
I'll wake up in the morning at 7 a.m. and I'll walk around. I'll make my tea. I'll start my tea in the morning. I'll walk around the house, get ready for the morning. But I don't, I might grab my phone after about 30, 40 minutes to do that, just to look and see what's come into my emails
True.
and know what I might have to prioritize. Once I go and sit down on my computer, and then I'm looking and red flagging all my emails, I still not answering or doing anything back, but I'm just setting up my day but I'm not running and grabbing that phone and saying, what's on Facebook? What's here? What's there? But then my process will be, hey, shout out to whoever's back there. Is that your photographer?
Yes, it's my photographer.
Tell him what's up.
What's up? What's up?
But no, just
It-
having that process of not being so connected all the time, to disconnect. We're so dependent on social media or emails or even watching Netflix or Hulu. Get back out to nature. Leave your phone behind. I mean, I started recently working out, and I go upstairs to my gym and I'll go 4 miles on the elliptical, and just like chill, and just be up there for about an hour. So yeah, definitely got to find ways to disconnect and reconnect. So that's awesome. You said that. You know,
100%, 100%.
if there is something you've been in the industry, how long have you been in the industry for? You said 9 Tomorrowland, so at least 9 years. But how long have you been doing this for?
Well, yeah.
Your bio.
I would say at least 16, 17 years,
Okay, so back in the mid 2000s. Okay, awesome.
something like that.
If you could
Yeah.
change one thing that bothers you about the electronic music scene, what would that be, and how would you go about it?
Well, it's everything. Like everything comes back. It's not like this thing I would definitely change. Like every period has this unique thing, and I really appreciate that. It's not really that I want to change anything. It's like as an artist, you need to evolve. You need to make yourself more adaptable to that kind of time right now. So I mean, in the beginning when I started, like trance was like very hot, like hot. It was like everyone was playing trance, and then it evolved in electro, and then it went like kind of like retro, and then it always changed. Now it's tech house. Now it's also like techno. So as an artist, you need to like that's what I think. Like if you need to evolve or what you want to change is like you don't need to change. Like I mean, you cannot change the industry. Just like people just don't want to listen to the same thing over and over and over again. So you just need to evolve as an artist to just make sure that you're more like acceptable, like not acceptable, more like more, yeah, currently like a current sound, and evolve your sound in something like something, yeah, like right now. Yeah.
Understandable, and that's I hear a lot of producers say, a lot of people say, when you're producing tracks, don't go out there and look at Beatport and what's hot on Beatport right now and try to produce that sound. Produce and stick with what you love producing, and find a niche and find collaborations or people that
Yes.
make who are in that same kind of genre, and work there in that environment, because you'll be a lot happier. One, because you're making stuff that you love to make, but two, by the time it's already number one in Beatport and that trend is going, by the time you get out there and get published and get out there, it's gone.
Yes. Yes.
And
True. True.
that's just something that I've heard a lot of top producers say, a lot of top
Yes.
DJs also say, even with their genres, if they switch a genre because, oh, that's hot right now, they're just like, nope, I'm staying in my lane. This is what I play. This is what I'm known for. And, that's where it's going to be. If you could describe your music in 3 words, how would you describe it?
My music, wow, it's like well, it depends on the crowd. I love to see people smiling, and so for me, the idea. So if I would describe my sound is more like happiness, making sure that people enjoying. So I would, if you would want to have a style more like tech house, Latin house. It depends on the crowd of at that point. But I think it's more about what people want. It just I feel like music's more like a feeling, and yeah, that's something I want to like transmit to the people also in front of me, because they bought a ticket. I don't know how much they pay for a ticket, but probably something they want to do, and they came to my show, so I want to give them the best show that they actually like experience. So also people right now, like at a certain point, like um there people are struggling with the fact about life and maybe relationships and stuff like that. So if they are on the stage, and if they go to a music festival, they just want to don't think about all those crazy shit that's happening to in their life all the time. So I'm like, give them the best time of their life, and just forget about all the problems, at least for an hour that they're in front of me, so at least I can see their smiling faces. That's some kind of a thing that I want to transmit.
Awesome. We're gonna give a shout because somebody chimed in the chat room offline. Want to give a shout out to Johan Senevi. Says, you know, hey Ken, I'm listening and it's very interesting. Disconnection is necessary to connect with yourself. Greets from Limburg, Topper. I just want to give him a shout out
Nice,
there.
nice. Thanks, Johan.
Thank you for tuning in, Johan. Yeah, it's you know, I always ask that question to people how they describe their music, and sometimes they'll say, like yesterday, I was interviewing somebody and they say it's a story. Some people like yourself will go, you're describing how you have, and this is in your bio with your tech house and Latin kind of
Yes,
influence there.
correct.
It's always interesting to see how people describe their music, especially when they describe it as they are my children. These are
Oh
my
yeah,
babies that I make, and then I put them out there in the world, and they flutter and they grow and they have their own life and do their own things. And
true.
some may go somewhere, some may not go anywhere. But is that how you
It's
feel about your tracks when you release them?
Well, not like babies actually. Like babies, are maybe I would definitely not say they're babies. I would more say like, hey, these are my creations that I want to release to the world. Like I want to make them um like kind of unique to my style, or the style that I feel right now, as I'm connected right now, and then just bring them out and make sure that like people are feeling the kind of energy, the feeling, the kind of like emotion that I want to put in this kind of track. So if you bring out this kind of baby or like creation, like you said, um that at least people feel very emotional, or feel like a kind of emotion, like happy, sad, I don't know, loving. So those kind of emotions are stronger than ever. And of course, at certain point it could be like your baby that you're putting in the world, and just make them grow, and just maybe it works or it doesn't work. It's like it's all about how it floats. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's. Some people ask me, like, when I ask them, tell me one of your favorite, most memorable tracks you've ever produced. And I have to take that. I'll ask you. Maybe I'll ask you that. But people always come back, and I always add in that people come back and ask me after 2,500 episodes, which is my favorite episode. And I'm like, every single episode was my favorite episode. I wouldn't be doing this
Exactly,
if it wasn't favorite.
exactly.
And they're like, well, if you had to pick one,
Excellent.
and I'm like,
Yes.
I can't pick one. And then they ask me, do you ever go back and watch your old episodes? And I'm like, no, if I did that, I'd never be producing any new episodes. So
Exactly.
if you did have to pick a track that was one of your most memorable, is there one that just says this one stands
Yeah.
out? This is the one that I still listen to from time to time, or you know,
Well, of course, I mean, like all my songs are like based on things that happened in my life. So of course, the one that actually for me like hits the most is Come Back to Me. I wrote that song for my deceased girlfriend like 7 years ago. And yeah, for me is that's something for me like very very intense. So every time that I listen to this song, so yeah, there was like a tribute or like a honor to her to make this kind of sound. Yeah. Yeah.
and you have your latest release that just came out. I hope I get this right. Mueve ese booty. I
That's
said it
very
with a
good.
little bit of an accent.
Yes, yes, yes. You said it very well. You said it very well. Mueve
Thank
ese
you.
booty. Yes.
Which also stands for what I deciphered it to say was move your butt.
Move your butt. Yeah.
Have you been playing that out? How has that been received so far?
Well, to be honest, like in the beginning, I was like, okay, let's see what it does. It's like when you put it out and you don't know what it's gonna do. So at a certain point, people were like responding. People were making stories, and in the club also, like it was going off. Like I played in many countries, and at a certain point, like, hey, this song is getting somewhere. Like yeah, we had like big support for like this Merkin Cremont, Hugo, Plastic Funk, all of the DJs like played this song. And like for me it was like a very I'm very honored and very blessed that they this kind of play this song. So yeah.
And it's been well received. People are putting it out there. Have there been any remixes
Yes.
scheduled of it yet? Or I mean, you just
For
released
for
this.
this
I mean, not
Yeah.
too long ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But not yet. Not yet. Any release schedule for the remix? No, no, not yet. But maybe it can come. Who knows?
Nice, nice. And you also have your label publishing company, Feels Like Home. When was that
Correct.
started? When did you start that?
Oof. I started maybe feels like home records in 2018, I think.
Okay. And do
So yeah.
all your tracks get published on that, and then do you work with a parent company, or did they all just come right from Feels Like Home?
Well, most of my tracks are actually released on Feels Like Home Records. It's my own record label, and it's the publishing is like Feels Like Home. So yeah, that's the kind of company. Yeah.
Nice. And
And most of them are.
when you look at current publishing or distribution companies, is there something that labels should be doing for their artists? And are they currently doing a good job with that? Or do you look what other labels do and say, I'm not going to do that. This is what I focus on. This is how I publish. And I've had good results with that.
Well, to be honest, I think the best way is just not to look at anyone. I mean, I don't. For me, it doesn't matter what other people do. Like if they book success, it's good for me. I'm happy for them. I'm really like that. I if some people want have a lot of success, I'm very happy for them, but I would not look at them like, hey, how did they do it, and I will do the same thing. I just like think like, hey, how do I feel, and how do I think like um that can be like acceptable to be like doing like in this game the same kind of direction. So that's something well, what I personally do. I mean, like maybe it's wrong or right. I mean, there is no. So for what I feel is like in this world, that nothing is wrong or right. It's just like how you feel. That you, for example, you wanted to do your like your broadcast. I mean, like how would you do it? It's like this how you feel it. So for my label, it's the same thing. Like if I feel today that this song can do something well, then I will release it. If I if I feel like, hey, this song is shit, like let's throw it in the garbage, like okay, then it probably happened, like, and it will not be released. So that's why let's say the last 5 years, I didn't release a lot of songs because of song, like at some a certain point, like I didn't feel like it was like kind of, this is it, I need to release it. No, I felt like, it's average, but it's not like I really want to bring it out. So and now I think like, hey, I have the feeling like, oh, this song can be something, because Mueve Subuti is something like I didn't know, but and in the initial phase that it would be like, hey, this is this kind of good, and then I like, okay, let's release and then see what happens. So I might had the wrong idea in the past, but I'm adapting to the current world. Let's put it that way.
I like that attitude because I was just hanging out with one of the people that I got started in this industry with almost over 30 years ago. I was hanging out with them the other day, and I had an opportunity to get a little social media plug with a very prominent DJ, and get him scheduled to be on the show. And while the DJ had gotten up there and got on the decks and was playing in front of the crowd, my friend looks to me and says, "Hey, how come you're not filming this right now?" And I go, why would I be filming it? And he goes, you got an iPhone Pro 15 Max in your hand. You got a video camera in your hand. Why aren't you filming this? I said, because I don't have an audio patch to the board. And he goes, what does
Ah,
that have to do with anything? I said, I don't produce stuff unless I have good audio quality, because I put that out there on social media, and somebody's first impression might be watching that video. And while the video might look cool and it might be a little snippet that I'm live and in the mix, that audio isn't going to be up to what my show quality is. And that's going to be their first impression. That's like going on a date and not showering for the date, or wearing dirty clothes or something. And that's going to be your first impression. I don't want somebody's first impression to be, and I don't want to represent the artist in that way either. I want to be able to have an audio patch to the board with clear, defined audio that is
correct.
the actual performance, not overdubbed audio with some other track, some B-roll montage. Hey, I'm not giving any disses to people that make
No,
those
no, of course,
things.
of course.
I'm looking at making a bunch right now myself. But he looked at me and was like, "But why aren't you filming it? We used to do it guerrilla style back in the day. This is what we used to do." I said, "That's because that was when it was on television. We had limited distribution." And we only had that. It
Correct,
wasn't the internet where it's going out to the entire world, and people from other
correct.
countries and other languages can see this, and they might look at that and go, "Never mind," and you never get them back ever again.
Yeah, true,
you know?
but
So
it's about about how you feel at that point, and
yeah.
it's not the thing that is good or right. It's like it's there's not the good or bad. It's just like how you felt at that point, and for you it felt right to do it like that. And I mean, I don't for me, being authentic is more important than being someone to pretend to be someone else because I like them, and I, oh my god, this artist is doing this and this and this, and I want to be exactly the same. No, I want to do my thing, and if people don't like it, I have all the respect. I mean, it's like I have all the respect for people that actually don't like my music. It's okay. I mean, no problem. We can still be best friends. It's just like, I mean, yeah.
No, I absolutely. I can feel you there. I had a little to that note. I had a little disparity with somebody online the other day, and I came in. I'm saying, hey, you wrote a message. It looks like this, and they came back and tried to defend themselves. I'm like, you don't really got to defend yourself. I'm just saying how I saw it, how
No.
I read it, and they put some mean words online, but then they took those mean words off and said in a message, say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be mean with you. And I said, it's okay. We can go grab a beer sometime. I still love you. I'm not trying to spit hate. I'm just, your message looks like you're throwing shade. And if I took it that way, other people could take it that way. So hey, let's just all get along
True.
and have fun. And again, it's you can go have a beer and hang out with somebody who doesn't respect your views and opinions and still smile and listen to some music with them, and have some
Exactly.
fun. So I think that's pretty awesome. What is one of the weirdest moments you've ever heard one of your own tracks play?
Oh, that someone else play my own tracks,
Someone
and
either
that's
playing
like
your
the
own tracks, or
weirdest.
I've
Yeah.
had people say, I've been walking through a hotel lobby, or I was watching a movie, and somehow my track played in the background of the movie or something.
Oh
What's the
well.
weirdest moment you've ever heard one of your own tunes play, or
Well, I was
unexpected
on.
moments, maybe?
Well, it was very unexpected. I was like in Argentina, in
Mhm.
Mendoza, and I was on tour. I was just like vacation, like workation. Let's put it that way. And
Workation.
at and yeah, I like, okay, I wanted to have breakfast, so I walked in the first, like, I was looking on Google, like Google Maps. I was like, okay, where's the first breakfast cafe, or where can I have some breakfast? So, and I found something. I walk in this room, and like I ordered something. I walked back, and my song came up. It's like, hey, and I just like, what is this? Is like, I'm in the other side of the planet, and my song get played, and like, yeah, for nobody, nobody was, yeah, everyone was sitting there, so nobody knew. But like, for me, it meant a lot, because of course I played a lot of hours to make the song, and then to re-record the guitars, and it was, for me, it was an amazing moment. And I actually went back to the girl, like, hey, so which kind of playlist do you play? Because the song that's right now is mine. And she's like, no, it's not true. Say, yes, it's mine, I can show you. And she's like, yeah, no. And then I find out, like, it was kind of some kind of like Spotify playlist or a YouTube playlist, I don't know. um so you can see like how small the world is. Like, everyone is listening to some kind of playlist or some kind of like YouTube playlist, and your song is getting broadcast, and like all of the world is like, if you think about it, it's like very, very, very crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. The world has definitely gotten smaller. Again, going back to that label question, do you take submissions from other artists, or are you just
Of
only
course.
publishing your? Okay, so you do.
I
Um,
do. I do.
because I know with the obviously over the last 20-25 years now, the internet making it more accessible for more people to get online, distribute, and push their music out there. It's we're looking to open up a label over here. I talk about this almost in every show. We're looking to open a label to DJ sessions, and the question is do we only produce and release internally, or do we open up that door and have the floodgates of people sending us mixes? And I go, who's going to listen to all this? How much time does one have to sort through and say these are good, these are bad, and those kind of things? So, and
I,
like you say, you're walking to a restaurant and some random person who's behind the counter playing a Spotify playlist is playing your track, and it just happened to pull up from the Spotify algorithm that goes in there.
true.
That's kind of
So,
amazing. But how do you, without the help of something like Spotify, how do you curate and sift through all that music nowadays? I mean, we would go to the record store. This kind of leads me into one of my next questions. I call it
mhm.
record store. Just to tell you how I'm not that old. I mean, I started there was cassette tapes and CDs by the time I started buying music in
Yeah, me too,
junior
man. Yeah,
high
me
and
too,
high
me too.
school. No, actually, I did own a couple records in the '80s. I think I had some pop records in the '80s, and I play on my little
Okay, nice,
45.
nice,
But not
nice,
I
nice,
wasn't
nice.
going to the store and buying them. That we got cassette tapes back then, and then we went into CDs. Then I started working at the music store, but that's where you went to find your music. There
True.
was no online source. I mean, maybe if you got a magazine, it might say so and so's album's coming out. That's the 12 o'clock. Or wait, what time is it there?
No, nine, nine. So it'll
Nine
be nine
o'clock
times,
bell.
nine
Oh
times.
wow!
Hey,
It was
we have time for a drink. Time for a
time for a
drink.
drink. Got to take one for each chime.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, oh my god, there's 9 sips. It will be like Fondo Blanco.
There you go. Um,
Cheers.
but cheers. But now you find your music online. Now there's so much. I mean, even with the advent of the iPod coming out and being able to walk around, I think it was first you had 1,000 songs in your pocket. Now, I mean, we got access to online in our pocket. We can do Spotify streaming and all that
True.
fun stuff. Which I said it's going to lead me into one of my next questions is the first. Did you start with vinyl or did you start in the digital
Yes.
platform? Okay, you
No,
started
no,
with.
no. I start with
Do you
vinyl.
remember the first record you ever bought? And is it worth
Oh my god.
mentioning? Is it worth mentioning
Yes.
or is it embarrassing?
Well, to be honest, like at that point, at a certain point, you buy this track because you felt like, okay, this is a track I really want to buy. It's actually Tiesto Adagio for strings, because I told you, like in the beginning when I started, like trance was like super hot, so people, like everyone was playing like trance. But what I'm talking about, like 2000, I don't know, like 2011 or something, 2010. So people were like listening to trance a lot, a lot, a lot. So yeah, that was the first. It was a limited edition from Adagio. Even had like after that I bought like a Tiesto limited edition album. It was two vinyls, but it was like a colored disc, like colored. Wow, very nice, and I still have it at home. So it's like, see, this is where I started. I evolved to this, but yeah, no, this is my road. So I mean, it's not something to be like embarrassed about. Like, it's not that I bought like I don't know, Katy Perry or something like that.
I remember
Very bad.
the first real electronic music or DJ album, and it wasn't an album, it was a CD that I ever purchased. I was at the Tower Records in downtown Seattle here in my hometown, and I happened to be at the register buying a CD of something else. There was a lot of
Yeah.
grunge music, a lot of stuff going on, but I was into grunge and hip hop at the time in a sense. And I was going to the clubs and listening to underground electronic music, but I saw my first ever Global Underground double disc collection. It was Paul Oakenfold's Global
Ah,
Underground 007, and it
yes.
was it was for $20. And most CDs at the time were 15.99, but this was for $20. So I picked it up. I'm like, "What's this?" And the guy behind the counter is like, "This is really awesome. You got to get this. You got to listen to it." And I picked it up. I bought it right there on the spot. Took it home, and it was always on repeat. And that was my first ever DJ compilation discs that I ever bought. And then obviously I got the Sasha, got the Digweed, got the Tangelia,
Of course, it's like
got all
the
the other ones
evolving,
as well.
evolving. It's like,
you know I mean, those are just phenomenal sets. And even at that time I had never had the idea of doing a live streaming or a DJ show at that point, because that was just so early on. But I had the opportunity of interviewing Oakenfold years ago. He's one of my first celebrity interviews I ever did. And on the back
nice.
of that album, I just remember asking him. I wish I had the copy of it for him to sign. I would have been like, "Yeah, cool." But on the back of the album, there was a little paragraph, and it was like his bio. It said, "If he was a glove, he'd be Gucci. If he was a car, he'd be a Mercedes Benz." And when I did the interview with him, unfortunately, the interview never came out. But I asked him that question when he was on the couch, and he's like, "It said that on the back of the cover." I'm like, "Yeah," but he had lived up to his reputation of his career at the time. So yeah, you mentioned Tiesto. I remember seeing his discs in the store back in the day. But Oakenfold was my first experience in getting that first album. That's an awesome story there. Who
Yeah.
has been your biggest influence when it comes to your career
Oof.
as an artist, and why?
Um, I would say definitely Eric Pritz.
Hmm.
Eric Pritz has been my biggest inspiration for, definitely for music wise. He's like a musical genius. Of course, I think 2 years ago I played at this Hollow show. So I was like the opening DJ of his Hollow stage. So I was very honored to and blessed to be there. I mean, like, how many people can experience or can relive the moment of the person that, well, why you actually started. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, Rick Prince was definitely like one of the guys. He also have like a lot of like alternatives, like Series D, and like what is it, of course Eric Pritz, he has his own thing, and then Prida, and then you have like the whole, like all of the stuff from Prida is like very deep, like very progressive, very melodic. I love it a lot. And with the Eric Pritz alternative, alter ego, he has more like, let's put it away, like commercial. It's more commercial, I think.
I still always get a kick out of that song "Call on Me." I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
that
like,
is just, if I want to get pumped up, that's probably one of the ones I put on. I
yes.
grew up. The funny thing is I grew up and my parents kind of ushered in and brought in. It's funny. The video itself has a lot of personal meaning to me in the sense, not only the lyrics, but the video itself, because my parents were heavy into the health club scene in the 80s and introduced aerobics to a major health club chain, 42 health clubs up and down the West Coast. One of the biggest health club chains in the history of the United States. And they were in charge of the whole aerobics program. So I grew up with that in my household. My mom was the one
Wow.
that
Okay.
trained the
Okay.
aerobics instructors how to do their aerobics programs for thousands of people every day, every year, and it's just really crazy. My dad had his own aerobics team,
Wow.
in the club.
Crazy.
Yeah, we were pretty into the health club scene back then in the '80s. So when I see that, I'm like, that's exactly how it was. Kind of, the dress, the look, the feel. But that song just, I mean, I can feel it lifting me up right now. So I love what he comes out with. I know it's a little bit old, but it's still one of my top favorite songs of all time. And
100%.
speaking of success, or looking at success, how would you define success as a DJ producer? Would that be a Beatport top 10 hit, a sold out tour? What are your thoughts on that?
Mm, mm. Well, there is it like there's something in me that speaks like a DJ, and there's something in me like speak like a producer. So producer wise, I would say, well, a beatport top 10 would be DJ wise, as like more like tech house, like more, yeah, I don't know, Afro house, or any style right now, like that's kind of, um for me, I really want to see people happy. So I mean, like, I would definitely go for like like a next step would be like main stage. I mean, main stages would be like for me. So I play on Freedom Stage, which is like the biggest indoor, but it's not the main stage. So, and I really want to grow into some kind of like style that they just accept me as like a DJ that actually can pull it off. I mean, like right now, people are like, they hear my songs like, hey, Ken, because it's like it's more poppy, it's more radio. But yeah, what are you gonna do on the stage? It's like, hey, listen to, can give me the chance to prove what I can do, and then we can talk about it. Like, then, and a certain people, like, people see what I play is like, oh, that's totally different that you have produced on Spotify. It's like, yes, of course, but it's not, it doesn't need to be the same. There's a lot of people, like, for example, like David Guetta in the past, he played a lot of like radio hits, but everyone knew that David Guetta was playing more like hard, like electro, like more, this kind of style, progressive house, and at that point. So they knew, but for me, it's like a barrier to breakthrough. So I think for me, the next step of the next success would be, like playing main stages, or yeah, or at least going to into that direction. And producer wise, it would be left definitely like a if I would ever get a top 50 global, I would be like very happy, and I will call you again to have a new show. No problem.
That sounds great. Maybe I'll even be backstage or be with you on tour with that show. I'd love to be
100%.
there as well. I definitely know one fan of yours, though. I'm going to bring her in the show really quick. Sandy Ray Makers. I hope I said that right. Saying he's really good. He is really good. Sandy, thanks for tuning in today and checking out the show. I think that's a vote of confidence to get you up to that main stage there.
I hope
If you
so.
could
So thanks,
take,
Andy.
yeah,
Thanks.
if you could take one non-famous person and put them in the spotlight who means a lot to you other than your direct family or friends, who would that be and why?
My top fan, without my family or friends.
Not family or friends. Somebody that you think deserves to be in the
Not family
spotlight.
or friends. Okay.
And
Well,
up and
there are a lot of fans that actually come to my. Sorry.
I
So
was
there are
going
a
to
lot of
say
like
an up and coming
there's some fans that I
artist.
always like in Belgium.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Um, Well, there are a lot of artists that are like up and coming. I mean, like in my neighborhood, even in Belgium, I can name like a few, like the guys that are playing at my club, for example, or like say Manuel's he's also playing at some certain point at my club. So those guys are really like up and coming. I know Jose De Mara from Spain. He's a guy, he's been around for many years, but now he's get finally like recognition, so I'm happy for him as well. um well, I'm not I just like that people also get success. It's not about like me having success and the rest doesn't have. I mean, that's not how it works. I mean, I just want to, like, if I would get somewhere someday, I would also be like, hey, I also want to give you like the opportunity to just do to have the same. I mean, like, it's kind of normal, I think.
Yeah, that was one of the founding mission statements behind the DJ sessions was to give local DJs, the show started out as a local show, to give local DJs kind of access to a worldwide platform through live streaming their sets, to putting them in a podcast series and helping them get that video element that didn't really exist 15 years ago. I mean, YouTube was
No, at
there,
all.
but for a DJ producer musician to now throw in this video mix on top of everything they're doing and the social media aspect and pushing out there, I kind of saw that and said, let me fulfill that for them. Let me handle that and let me put them in the spotlight. I'm not a DJ. I play one on live streams, but I'm not a real DJ. And I just want to say that to the world because a lot of people think that I am a DJ. And I'm like, no, I'm an executive producer. I produce shows, but I let the DJs and the musicians get that spotlight. And I love talking with them like yourself. You're halfway around the world now. This is capable. We can do this. It's live. It's going to your meta. It's going to my meta. It's going to our we're pretty high ranked right now on Twitch. I'm pretty excited with the viewership, the draw we pulled for this show. We're going to do more. But, um, helping the smaller artists get that limelight is really about what our mission statement is, and really getting them out there and getting that experience so they can hit a more worldwide audience or a diverse audience rather than just what's going on in their hometown. I
True,
really like that. So
100%
you definitely resonating and helping out your people that are in your mix, in your circle. That's really awesome, and getting them going. You know, all of this going on, touring, production, um, how do you balance your DJ production career with your other obligations in life? Because I know it's,
not.
what is it? Wake, eat, rave, repeat, or wake, sleep,
Well,
rave, repeat, or something like that. I should know that. Please don't murder me. We're not.
no, no problem, no problem. So for me, the most important thing is to plan everything. If someone see my calendar, they will say like, oh my god, you have a problem, because you're very super structured, and they have a lot of things in my calendar, and people would get kind of crazy for it. So the only thing that I would not put in my calendar would be like when I need to go to the toilet, for example. So, but all the rest is it's in the calendar. So sorry, yeah, this is exactly how it is. And yeah, beside the DJ thing and producing, I have my own marketing agency, which is based in Valencia, and I have currently like 10 people working for me, or 11, 10. And they actually do like, they help me with the social media. So that's the part that I like kind of de-stress from me, for myself. So for example, if I need to, like, they make the content, of course I need to record them, but they make the content. They just produce all the video clips, and they put it online. So for me, it's like a de-stress of putting more attention to my phone, because at the end, like, I'm on my phone almost like I don't know, like 90% of the time, and I just also want to enjoy, and see what's happening in life, and just like get the inspiration. I want to go back to producing and DJing, while right now everyone is kind of forced to be like the social media expert. Well, you're a DJ, and so you need to be social media expert. You need to be like, I don't know, like, your social need to be good. You need to be promoting yourself. You need to be an artist. You need to be a producer. There's too much things in this artist that's happening right now that you cannot actually contain everything. So yeah.
Absolutely. I know how that goes with the scheduling. A lot of people don't see what goes behind the scenes of everything that you do. They don't see what behind the scenes of what I do. You know, it's a full-time job behind the scenes. You're not just getting up there on the decks, hitting play and being like, let's go, or, you know,
Yeah,
producing
true, true,
tracks and just it's just magic and it just pops out and something happens. There's a lot
true.
of gears in the back end that keep things going. Even though I took a hiatus last year for a little bit of time, there was still 40 hours, 50 hours a week going on in the back end that nobody knows about. And it's funny you mentioned
One
you
hundred
put,
percent.
I use my calendar very specifically. I have my to-do lists that I write on paper. I got my phone that I put stuff into as well. And it's funny you brought up the fact that you don't put in your calendar that you actually have to go to the bathroom and all that. Well, I actually do put on my calendar that I have to shave
Ah, look at this!
and
Look at
brush my
this! You do
teeth
have your
and
calendar.
make
Ah,
sure
you
that
brush your teeth. You put it in the calendar.
I have to brush
You're
my
even more
yeah,
crazy than me.
I
Oh
put
my
it on
fucking
there just
god!
to make sure that it's in the list of things to do to go shop. And just it's there. Like even I'll put down do the dishes, take out the trash. Even if there's
Yes.
major conversations and things I got to do, I will still put in those daily routines to my calendar just to make sure that I'm doing
Yeah.
those, so I just don't pass it up. You know, it's not
One
like I
hundred
don't like.
percent.
I mean, if I'm going to a meeting now, I'll shave and brush my teeth anyways. But it's just there, like, hey, go do that. Remember. So it's funny you
And
bring that up.
and it's also, I think
Yeah.
it's also good to, like, even for example what I struggled in the beginning, when I had like this kind of like two kind of three jobs at the same time. I was like kind of struggling because at the end of the day I was just I was going to bed. I'm like, hey, so I need to do this, and I need to, of course I need to brush my teeth, I need to, so but all the other things tomorrow, like, and I was thinking like, hey, what is going on? I cannot even sleep. So I was like very like occupied of thinking about stuff that I need to do tomorrow. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have like this kind of like a calendar, and I'm gonna put everything there, like my to-do list. I put everything in Trello. Trello is like a very nice application. I love it. So that's my kind of hack to do everything at the same time. Yeah.
And we were talking earlier in the show about keeping that mobile device or keeping that next to your bed, you know, so you
Yep.
can, if you have notes in the middle of the night, you can put it down and then forget about it. It reminds me of the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when Harrison Ford is having the conversation with Sean Connery, and he says Harrison Ford says, "You wrote this book. You didn't memorize the facts." And Sean Connery says, "No, I wrote them down so I didn't have to memorize the facts." But then
One
later in
hundred
the
percent.
movie, you find out that Sean Connery had memorized everything that was in the book when he's saying that only the penitent man will pass. And he knew that saying was there to pass the challenges. Just thought it was kind of, you know, that's how I look at it. If I write it down and put it down. But, you know, they do say instead, you know, keeping that phone next to your bed, again, we'll go back on that just a little bit for mental health, to put it away, but keep a notepad and pen next to your bed. So if you do have that idea, guys like you and I, we get an idea in our head. It's like we just had a
And
power
write it
nap
down.
and we got to jump up and get out of bed and go do something about that. I will do that. And instead, I'm like, nope, I wrote it down. Let me go back to bed. You know?
Yes, 100%, 100%.
So, you know, we are going to, I believe you are going to be sending us over an exclusive video guest mix too here in the near future, correct? We're
Correct.
super excited to get that. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know about before we let you go?
Well, there's a lot of things going on. So I mean, like, I have a lot of tracks coming up. Let's say I'm gonna release a new song in August. That will be on Smash Deep from Smash the House. It's a sub label. That's called Anejo. It's like the drink, the tequila drink. And then in September I have Cannibal. There's another song with Luciana and Bizarres from Mexico. And then in October I have like another release. So I have like I've been planning like every month another release. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, like planning a release every month. So people are like kind of know that there's something coming from me. So, and to be honest, like I'm right now is the fifth. I know, like I'm leaving the fifth to back to Valencia, and then go to China. I will play in Shanghai, and then afterwards I play Nairobi, and then Ecuador, Paraguay, Mexico. So yeah, that it's gonna be like a trip, and then Amsterdam dance event that will be like October. So I will not be home for the next 2 months. So like I think yeah.
Now tell me you are taking time off, or at least in your writer, that you get some time to spend in these wonderful countries to get some food
Well,
in you.
well, I told you in the beginning, like I love Asian food. So for me, Asian food is like the thing is like Shanghai would be the best place to experience like all the food from China. Yeah, and of course Latin the food from Latin America is also amazing. I mean, like I'm a very I'm a foodie, so at certain point I kind of enjoyed the tour as well. But taking time off is not really in my schedule because I love to, like you said, like, hey, you need to go. For example, I take a siesta. I take like a little nap. Okay, so and I put my phone down. It's like, and I just lay down looking in at the ceiling. Like I was like 30 seconds. Like, hey, this is this thing like I want to do. Like I'll pick my phone and like I put my phone back. It's like, I mean, at the end, I'm just from the 30 minutes siesta that I'm trying to do, maybe like 10 minutes was being sleeping and the other one was just being like
I think it was Einstein. Please don't internet trash me if I'm wrong with this, but Einstein, he would hold two spoons in his hand, and as he
yeah.
fell asleep and drifted off, when those two
It
spoons hit
drops
the
on the
ground,
floor
it
and it
would
just
wake him up, and that was his power
yes,
nap.
yes, yeah,
I
but
think it might have been
exactly
Einstein that did that. But other than that, give a couple. We're gonna give a couple shout outs here. Sandy, Johan, thanks for tuning in the show today. For all of you out there in the internet land watching the show, thank you for tuning into the DJ sessions. This is Kenn Colt coming in from Belgium on his going on tour, doing all the fun stuff. Ken, where can people find out more information about you? Where's the best place to go?
well, I have my Instagram page and of course TikTok. I have a
Okay.
use TikTok play and my website, of course, kencolt.com. Yeah, I think every social media platform, my account is Kenn Colt, Kenn, so it's double N Colt. So there you
Awesome.
can find me for sure.
Check him out at kencolt.com. We're looking forward to some of those releases. We're looking forward to the exclusive mix. Thank you so much for coming on the DJ sessions today. Super awesome to be following you and what's going to be going on. We will definitely touch base over the next 6 months. It's always our mission to get and stay in contact with artists and find out what they're up to. Sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on. Might have to catch up with you at an ADE later this year. I've been
Perfect,
the last couple
perfect.
of years. I love it.
Yeah.
ADE is just one of those most amazing experiences. And I love Amsterdam too. It's such a beautiful city. So Ken, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks for having me, and cheers.
And cheers. All right. Oh wait, now you got white wine?
Yeah, my friends are here as well. So I mean, like they give me like it's like a champagne.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you get to the champagne here in just a few moments.
Thank you
Thank you
very
again
much.
for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
On that note, don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find us on Meta, X, Instagram, TikTok. We're out there in the Apple Music Store. Subscribe to our podcast. We have over 2,500 episodes, live interviews that come to you, exclusive mixes, over 600 news stories, our merch store. We're in VR and VR chat. We got our mobile app being updated and released soon, so you can take us on the go in your pocket around the world. TheDJSessions.com. Find us and more information there. Special thanks for Kenn Colt for coming on the show today. I'm your host, Darren, coming to you from Seattle. He's in Belgium, having some fun in the sun. And remember, this is Darren, and that's Ken. Darren, Ken, on the DJ Sessions, virtual sessions. And on the DJ Sessions, remember, the music never stops.